This is the talk show that takes a no-holds-barred approach to politics, where truth and integrity are the standard and the Constitution honored. From Renaissance Studios, this is Champion News Talk Radio.
Good morning and welcome to another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio. We are brought to you by championnews.net, and we're your choice for the conservative voice. This is Carol Parisi. This Sunday morning, our founder, Jack Roeser, and myself have a very special guest, and Erin Raasch is with us, and we are going to be speaking on what's the score with Common Core. Good morning, Jack. How are you today?
I'm here feeling pretty good, and especially about this program, because you're going to talk about education and how it's getting screwed up in our area and around the country.
Yeah.
Because education's really at the core of all the troubles we've got, especially in Illinois. With the crazy pensions that the unions have put down, they've bankrupted the state. $100 billion is just too much to ever pay in the crazy pensions that have come out of it. $200,000 a year for superintendents, it's nuts. So there's a lot of trouble there, and the other trouble is they've given up teaching any kind of morality in the public schools. And that's why you have violence there, with the shootings of people who come back to the school where they were mistreated. All in all, education is in sorry condition these days. And I think you've got something to say about it.
Erin,
Yes.
What is Common Core? Thank you for being with us. Did I say your last name correctly?
It's Raasch.
Raasch. What is Common Core?
Common Core is a lot of things. It's a set of learning standards in English and math. They were rolled out to normalize the standards across all the states.
Okay, now they're learning standards for the whole country.
Right. It was meant to be the standards that all of the states would be using so that you could compare performance from state to state.
Well, that doesn't sound like a terrible thing. That sounds like something that could be consistent when children go to college and their test scores are based on the same type of learning. Am I off base with that?
No, I mean, we know that George Bush put in No Child Left Behind, which also had the same type of goal with the standards in that program. Of course, No Child Left Behind really was quite disastrous. It did not normalize education across the states, and there's really probably less reasons to believe that Common Core would accomplish that goal.
Well, the initial No Child Left Behind was, I guess, better than what they actually passed, because I guess Ted Kennedy added some other things in there. Though I heard the initial bill was actually much better. But Common Core now is a standardization. But what else is there? There's a lot of layers to this.
Let me put my oar in the thing here, because I helped some teachers in District 59, Arlington Heights, about 15 years ago. They wanted to start a charter school. And the charter school was the Thomas Jefferson Core Curriculum School. And we did get that started. I moved some political blocks for them, and in a small way we got it started, and it ran several years, but Blago killed it. As soon as he was in, he killed it, just like that. But the Thomas Jefferson Core Curriculum was a high-quality thing that was, shooting for excellence, is what it was doing. So they borrowed that name, and they put it into, far from being an excellent thing, it's just
it's common.
It's common to everybody, and the standards are low enough that anybody can meet them. It stinks.
Is that what we've done? Have we lowered standards of learning for our children?
It probably depends on what state you're in. For some states, this is a huge jump up. For other states, maybe it's about the same. For some states, they're probably lowered because states were at a different place, and now they're all supposed to be the same. The big problem is that it's not so much that we have a national standards, it's who's controlling the national standards. With the curriculum, only 15% of the curriculum will be controlled by your school board and PTA and the parents and taxpayers. The rest of it will all be this top-down curriculum. The other thing that's very different about this curriculum is not only does it give the materials to teach, but it tells the teacher how to teach them. And a lot of the methods that come with the materials are quite controversial. For example, when you read literature, the teachers are told that they should not bring context in. In other words, what time period were we in? You know, what was happening in the world when this book was written, et cetera. They're also not allowed.
They're not getting then a full scope of education. It sounds more like they're just compartmentalizing something without the whole meaning.
Right. They're incorporating in a lot of rather experimental, untested teaching methods with the actual materials. That are,
think how much money there is in doing this. There's always been people that made profit selling books.
Right.
And they got really high prices selling books into the American education system, the K-12 systems, especially here in Illinois. It's very lucrative.
That's
because
right.
The people that run it are a bunch of jerks. When you've got a uniform thing like this, where they're specifying it, they got pets that are manufacturing that kind of crap, and the competition has gone out of it. Consequently, the price goes up, and the uniformity goes in. So we get everybody marching to exactly the same tune. Not better, not worse than a certain low level that they're going to put in there and say that we're educated. We stink right now on a national level. What the hell, Barrington, where I live, is a rich suburb. So they can teach the kids anything, and the kids come from good homes. But in international tests, they rank mostly in the middle of 30 schools. And that's the best we got around here.
And Barrington's a very, very good
Chicago,
good school.
that'd be, below the bottom.
Right, and these standards are not internationally benchmarked. A lot of the people who developed the standards on the original committee, the validation committee, refused to sign off on them because of these experimental aspects of teaching methodology and materials. And when you talk about cost, it's very hard to estimate, but remember, these states had already set their own standards, purchased books to go with those standards and all the materials that go with it, and now they have to go and purchase all new materials and books and teachers' guides. They have to retrain all the teachers, and
so everything that they've invested in on taxpayer dollars, they're going to have to get rid of.
That's right.
How many?
I guess where all the profits from this very lucrative standardized thing will go. I mean, Obama or his pals that are in the education department will be working with the people who are going to provide the books.
That's what
and that money will go, as it goes presently, out of the education system right into the Democratic Party, where 95% of the teachers' dues go. And all of that money goes in to elect more of the socialist economy that Obama and his pals in the Democratic Party are trying to give us. They want to dumb us down to a controllable level.
Well, that's my question. Okay, it sounds like more bureaucracy, but now the books, are they having competition, or are the Common Core initiators choosing the book manufacturers, and is it just standard, there's going to be no competition in that, and then where do those profits go? Any ideas on those things?
Because Common Core is supposed to be a national standard, all of the publishers have to redo their materials, their books, to be Common Core compliant. And if you go in any education store now, you'll see right on the cover it says Common Core compliant. So,
who in their right mind would want to have the federal government tell us what are in the books that our children are going to read?
Right.
Where's our input?
That's a whole other aspect of Common Core. But just to kind of close off the costs area of this, there's a lot of different ways to estimate this. But for Washington State, they feel like that's probably going to be $183 million to turn over the books and train the teachers, and that's just for 1 million kids. In California, they estimate it'll be $1.6 billion.
Oh, because they're so rich.
They have 6 million kids. Well, Illinois too. Where on earth is Illinois? I have not found an estimate for Illinois, how on earth are we going to come up with the money? The schools we have now don't have the books they needed for the old standards.
You know how we're going to come up with the money? We're going to burden the hardworking
Right.
taxpayer and the hardworking homeowner.
And this money goes directly to the
This
taxpayer.
tells how they are managing to spend $16,000 per child for crummy results in the K-12 system in Illinois. It's all documented here, how the hell they blow your tax money and get lousy results. This is going to put the federal government into strangling the whole thing.
Is Common Core already being implemented now?
Yes,
So it's implemented in Illinois.
it is.
Is there anything anybody can do to change that?
Yes, a lot of states are pushing back and having success.
And you know what? We're going to hear more about how to push back and the successes when we come back after the break. Stay with us.